In this video, we're going to be going over our data analysis module. Our data analysis module can report out on anything that's located in our data warehouse. In our data warehouse, we can bring in any type 1 assessments such as MAP, STAR, Fountas Pinnell, PARCC, etc. And we can pull in all the type 2 assessments, which would be typically the district assessments. In addition to that, we can pull in data from your learning management system, such as grades, and any other data source. We also have modules that we can collect data in from within our application. We do have an interface for capturing Fountas Pinnell data. For example, we have an SLO module, and for example, we have a PE module. So all that data can go into the data warehouse and get reported out in our data analysis module. The first thing I'm going to show is how we can disaggregate the standardized assessments. So what we can do is we store the data. We can have any number of years stored. So for example, if I want to look at the current class year, I can do that. If I want to go back and look at a previous class year, I can do that as well. Over here are the different reports depending on what we have loaded. In this case, we'll take a look at the STAR data. And on this screen, what it shows us is we have a number of different filters. So for example, we can disaggregate by any of the demographics that are provided by the school district. This is really unlimited. In addition to that, I can filter school years. So I can say from 2015 to 2018, or if I just want to look at 1 year, I'd say 2018, 2018. We also can create student groups, and I can show you that as well in just a few minutes. We also can filter. So in this case, I'm going to disaggregate by student. And if I expand these filters, these are all the grade levels that we have loaded. So for example, if I just want to look at grade 3, I would select that. I could also look at by ethnicity, or if I want to filter by school, I just click these off and that creates a filter. Now these are kind of like pre-canned reports. These are very easy to create. We typically do that. Takes us just a few minutes. And we can combine data. So we can take data from, for example, STAR and MAP and combine it into one report or any other. So we can mix and match. In this case, we can look at math and reading together. We can do different reports depending on the data that we get. Like here's a percentile analysis, and this is really defined by the school district, and we can provide some guidance if you would like. So we'll look at a math percentile analysis. All I need to do is click on run. And this is also based on roles. So right now I'm coming in as administrator, so I'll be able to see all students. If I was a building administrator, I'd only see the students in my building. If I was a teacher, it would only show me the students in my class. So this is basically kind of a standard report. What it's doing is showing STAR math in January 2017, September 2017, May, and so on. Just some notes on the interface itself. All these columns are sortable. If I click on that, I can sort a column descending. I can sort columns ascending. It can also filter columns. So for example, if I want to look at values that are, say, greater than or equal to, say, 80. In this case, I think we're looking at percentile rankings. What that will do then is filter the column showing everything greater than 80. I can add multiple filters. For example, maybe I want to look at everybody that's over 80 percentile, and I want to look at just females. I can put a filter in here. Now it's just looking at everybody over 80% percentile and just females. And so I can filter any of these columns by that. I can also move columns, but just simply by dragging it. So if I wanted to move this column over here, I could do that. Or if I want to put the grade as first column, I can do that as well. I can also hide columns. All you have to do is click on a column, click on column chooser, and let's say that I only want to see the current month, and I only want to see the current last instance of the assessment. I can click on hide all those columns, hit the apply button, and that will filter everything out. And you see this little mark here. If I click on that, I can hit my column chooser again, and now I can show all these columns. Or I can just hit reset, and that will set all the columns back to where they were. The other thing that I can do on all the columns, I can also expand them. If for whatever reason the column is too small, I can also change the size of them. So again, what we can do with this is provide a lot of extra capability to do some additional filtering, sorting, to be able to be a little bit more precise on what you're looking at. The other thing that we can do is create student groups. So let's say that I want to create a group of students where the values, the percentile ranking is less than, say, 50. I can put that in there. The other thing that I can do is create student groups. So in this case, since I filtered on students that are less than 50% at the less than 50% at the less than 50 percentile, to create a group, I can either add them to an existing group or create a new group. In this case, I'll create a new group. I will call this one Gym Test 3. Hit the Save button. Now I have a new group in here, so I can select Gym Test 3, and it tells me that I don't have any students associated with that group yet. So basically I just check off, we'll take all these students here with that have a value, and I just say add students. Okay, now I have this group, Gym Test 3, with those students. If I want to see who the students are in that group, I can hit this little edit button, and I can also, if I want to delete any students from here, from this group, I can just say delete, and it will delete them, and then I can just save and close this thing. So the way the student groups work, let me close this. So what I would do now, it created a new group. Now I'm going to take off all the filters because we don't need those since I'm going to use a student group. Here's my Gym Test 3. I just click that, hit run, and that displays the students in my student group. So I can use those student groups to look at other assessments. So for example, if I wanted to look at Fontes Pinel, and I want to look at the students that were in my Gym Test 3 group, I can hit the run button, and now what it does is it lists the 3 students that I have in my group. So it shows me the Fontes Pinel level, and it shows the percentiles for star. So again, this is an example also of how we're combining different assessments. I can also export these. If I click on export, that will export all the results out to Excel. We have this ability to create student groups on just about any report screen that we have. And once you have a student group, for example, I could create a local assessment now for these 3 students. So I could use this as kind of like a progress monitoring tool. I'm going to hop over to a different demo to show you a little different report. In this case, the district is using this report for their RTI screening. So what I can do is, again, I will select a grade level, we'll say grade 3, and I'm going to run the Universal Reading Screener. So if I run that, this is a report that it generates. Basically what they're doing is pulling in their um, 3 administrations of NWA, fall, winter, spring, and 2 administrations of Fontes Pinel. So what we did is take their percentiles and put them into quintiles. So 1 to 20 is going to be red, and like 80 to 100 is going to be blue, and then we got all the colors in between. We did the same thing with Fontes Patel. They gave us the letters and the levels and which color relates to them. So it looks like we may have, for example, A through K is red and so on. So it gives a quick visual as to how well students are doing. You see red, that's not good. You see blue, that is good. Then the district, what they did is gave us a formula they wanted to use to determine a level of need. And so this report is sorted by level of need and then by student. So the students that are struggling are first and in red. And as I scroll down to the bottom, the students are doing well are in blue. So what I can do then is use this report as a screener, be able to select off certain students that can go into different groups. So this is an example of being able to pull in data from multiple assessments, apply some color coding, and apply some formula in order to calculate, in this case, a level of need. Thank you very much.